This is it. Church of San Juan. Let's split up. I'll look for signs of Lopez.
We'll ask around, see what we can find out.
My friend Sarah's an archaeologist. She works near here. Want to go see if she knows anything about your riddle? That would be great. The stone faces have always been Sarah's obsession. Most people come here looking for treasure, but not Sarah. She just wants answers. Have you been friends a long time? Since we were kids. She was the nerd, I was always skipping school and stealing my grandpa.
Abby, can you help me with this? It's broken.
Hold on. Are you that Lara? Croft?
I am.
I recognize you from your picture. What's your interest with this place?
I'm following a riddle. The heart of the serpent is in the cup near the many stone faces.
The stone faces. That's why I'm here too.
I don't want to step on your toes. It's the serpent in the cup I'm really looking for.
Well, I can tell you the faces have been here for at least 400 years. According to documents in the library, they keep watch. Legend has it, they're guarding a secret crypt.
A crypt?
We've never been able to find it. As you can imagine, that's what drives the treasure hunters crazy. But if the infamous Lara Croft is as clever as they say she is, well, if you were to find it, you might be doing me a favor.
You think I should start at the library?
Yes, it's over by the cemetery. It's one of the oldest buildings here. Make sure you credit me if you find anything.
Thank you. I will.
Laura, you find anything yet?
Abby's friend mentioned a crypt somewhere around the library. I'll meet you there. Impossible. I can't carry anymore.
So there's a crypt around here somewhere?
A secret crypt.
Why secret? If Lopez is involved, there's bound to be a trick.
That's a solid theory. What about you? Did you find anything?
I got a pamphlet. 7 steps closer to God.
Who knows? Maybe it'll help.
Feels like a mausoleum.
Means we're on the right track, right? Jonah, I feel something. We're getting close. Let's look around for signs of Lopez.
These notes were written by the founder of the Sector 7. We're talking about funds allocated for renovations to the library.
A heron and an eclipse. This cross, it looks like it's from the 17th century. Jonah, this book describes a stranger's arrival at the mission. He founded the Sect of Seven. Maybe that was Lopez.
Like on the pamphlet. We must be getting close. We should keep looking.
The sun will be darkened, and the moon will not give its light the end of days.
Tardaremos eternidades. ¿Cuántos daños? Un paso a la vez. Un día a la vez, como si tuviéramos el éxito.
All full up. Can't carry any more.
"25th of December, 6...
Impossible. I can't carry any more.
The others are worried that Brothers de la Cruz and Serrano will not return. I have so far maintained they will, that they always have. But in my heart, I am beginning to believe we have seen the last of them, and that grief weighs heavily. We will continue their work. Either they will return to find we have not forgotten the teachings, or they will look down on us from above and bless our continued labors. The door closed and a silence settled, so great and so vast I held my breath for fear of breaking it. Lopez turned to me, his eyes wild, a smile screwed across his face. He came toward me, arms outstretched, and for a moment fear flickered across my heart. But he pulled me close, his fingers digging into my shoulders. "I found it," he whispered in my ear, and releasing me, he wandered through this room. Walls of pure jade reaching up to the heavens, completely covered in intricate etched mosaics and carved figures. I followed at a distance as he approached an altar, and watched as he lifted a silver box from it. "29th of November, 1603. After dinner, Lopez left the city. I followed, worried. 26th of November, 1603. At dinner, Lopez asked me if I believed these heathens were worth.
26th of December, 1603. Lopez woke me, having already prepared a Spartan breakfast. "This is where we were meant to be," he said, a cold determination in his voice, so very different from how he acted just the day before. I finished my meal as he spoke of holy retribution, how he had acted in error, but now God had put his hands on his shoulders and the sun will be darkened, and the moon will not give its light. And under his wings you may seek refuge. Jonah, those two Bible quotes. The sun will be darkened, and under his wings you may seek refuge. That's it. Look for a heron and an eclipse. There's a whole mural under here. Veracruz, the true cross.
Is that what I think it is?
The silver box. It's unmistakable.
Jesus takes up the cross. These are the stations of the cross. But there's a bunch missing.
Before 1600, there were only 7. This could date back to the time of Lopez.
This is one of his clues.
Yeah, it's the kind of thing he does.
All right. Let's see if we can find a cross lying around here somewhere. When we find the box, how do we get the key back from Dominguez?
We'll find a way.
Etzli is young to have all that responsibility. Must be pretty hard for her.
I can only imagine.
Found something?
Yeah. Jesus takes up the cross. Help me lift this.
That actually worked.
Looks like a long way down. Let's see where this leads. Station 2. Jesus falls the first time.
There's an inscription here. Ambulate dum lucem habitis.
Walk while you have the light.
That did it. I wouldn't want to be buried in here. The head tossed behind a cross somewhere.
Walk while you have the light, so that the darkness may not overtake you,
Sounds like a hint.
or a threat.
This looks like the Virgin Mary.
Station 3. Jesus meets his mother.
The mirror looks dusty. I'll give you a boost. Hey, work. The light leads this way. What happened to these people?
Looks like the light activated something.
Laura! Are you alright? You're lucky it was a little rusted.
This must be Station 4.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at these frescoes. Have to use the light beam to follow the Stations of the Cross.
These people look like they were tortured. All over the city.
I don't think this was just a crypt. This must be Station 4. Let's have a look at these frescoes. I don't think this was just a crypt. Have to use the light beam to follow the Stations of the Cross. I'll get it. Have to push the crossbar.
Is that what I think it is?
The Stations of the Cross again.
But with mummies, isn't this sacrilegious?
Not necessarily. They could have been paying the ultimate homage.
Or they were just sick?
This must be Station 6. Have to use the light beam to follow the Stations of the Cross.
Looks like a church. These ones are posed like monks. Lopez staged the whole crucifixion. Seems sacrilegious.
I think this was a place of worship for an underground sect.
Literally. I guess this is the sect from that pamphlet. This is disgusting. Glad I wasn't the rat when Lopez was.
Have to use the light beam to follow the Stations of the Cross.
Kill the body, but are unable to kill the soul. Is that meant for us?
Don't let Lopez get in your head. He's caused enough trouble already.
Let's do this.
What's the first step of the crucifixion?
Not sure.
Strange, there are only 7 stations. This must be based on an older tradition. Jesus takes up the cross, falls the first time, meets his mother. Then Veronica wipes his face before he falls the second time. Then he is crucified and finally entombed.
Maybe it's on the pamphlet.
He's carrying the cross. I think he's taking up the cross. Jesus nailed to the cross. She's wiping his face, I think.
Looks like a church. These ones are posed like monks. So Lopez staged the whole crucifixion with mummies.
They're carrying
Seems
him.
sacrilegious.
I think this was a place of worship for an underground sect.
Literally. I guess this is the sect from the pamphlet.
They're carrying him.
This is disgusting. I'm glad I wasn't the rat when Lopez was. That inscription. Do not fear those who kill the body, but are unable to kill the soul. Is that meant for us?
Don't let Lopez get in your head. He's caused enough trouble carrying him.
Let's do this. Looks like a church. These ones are posed like monks.
I think this was a place of worship for an underground sect. Have to use a light beam to follow the stations of the moon. trouble already.
Let's do this. What the hell happened here?
Lopez had his disciple wall him in, and then... bang.
No witnesses.
The box of Isha. Only the hands of the Righteous One may seize destiny from mine.
I guess it's you then.
He led us on this goose chase. He sabotaged every clue.
All to keep this box from Trinity.
And the people of Paititi. He was totally consumed by it.
Where is she?
I don't know.
I just need the box.
Fuck you!
Well, I guess we're done here. Stop!
Let him go! Release him, and I will give you the box.
Lara, What are you doing?
I've lost enough people.
I know you have. Your father was brilliant.
He was taken from me before I could know.
He was my friend. But he was obsessed, relentless.
You didn't know him.
He refused to see the potential for destruction in his work. He had to be stopped.
You had him killed.
He was going to lead the public to Paititi. Everything I love, everything I fought for. My world would have been destroyed.
And what about my world?
You can't think it's the same.
It is to a 9-year-old girl. I was a child.
There was too much at stake. An entire civilization, hundreds of years of independence, thousands of lives. I had no choice.
There's always a choice. It's not too late. You can honor Unuratu and restore the sun.
No. The threat must be removed.
You're a low, selfish, murdering coward.
And you, Lara? How many lives have you ended? In pursuit of what? Lara! Go! Stop him!
Change in our status, he'll tell us. Hasn't been much radio chatter. So much goddamn passion.
Man down! Copy that. Return to the mark. Affirmative. Sweeping clear. Let's move. Covering weak side.
Sweeping. Ready to engage.
Enemy spotted! This will force you out!
Rourke. Jonah Maeva has the box, and Lara Croft was last seen in the church. Find them!
They just left her alone in the church. It was chaos in there, obviously. But this is Croft. There was something more important to worry about. If Maeva's here, where's Croft? What's the matter? Stay close, behind us. This time in formation. Roger. Form up! Shoot on sight! All right. With you, team leader. Man down! Copy that. Weapons free. Oh shit, I better look around. Yeah. On me! Eyes open! He's ours! Form up! Ready to engage! She's ours! Gotta see you! Get a tight spot! Cover me! Guns up! Get her! Hold up! Weapons free! Fire! The fuck's he doing? Last chance to surrender. We're on.
Jonah, where are you?
I'm in the cane field. They can't see me.
Keep your head down. I'm on my way.
Canefield, all units. Priority 1. Find Lara Croft.
You heard the commander. Let's go hunting.
Croft, I know you're out there. I should have killed you in Siberia, but Dominguez was against it. That's on me. But I'm gonna fix that mistake. Now.
Something's off in that. Hey, where are you?
Oh, I don't know.
Hey, did you know there's still rum in some of these barrels?
For Christ's sake, Morgan, do your job. Okay. All right, let's go. I'll take point.
Need a hand? Alert the outpost. Maybe they'll send out the deacons. Jesus, need to get to the bottom of this. Sure. Sweep the area. I got your back. All right, let's do this. Visual on Croft. He's at the distillery.
Deacon team, deploy.
Deacon's on the ground, Commander.
Let's get her.
No shame in giving up!
Jonah!
Oh, God.
Ready?
Oh, yeah. I got it. I'm good.
What the hell were you thinking?
If I was you, it would have worked.
They might not get them.
Go.
Go, we got this.
Pan. This is Cardinal 1. Engine stall at 5. Losing altitude. Attempting forward start. Wing 1. Proceed. Pan. This is Cardinal 1. Engine stall at 5. Losing altitude. Attempting forward start. Wing 1. Proceed.
Faster, damn it, go!
Pan, 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 pan. This is Cardinal. Proceed. Cardinal 1, engine restarted. Rerouting controls. Pan, 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 pan.
Oh shit!
Cardinal 1, engine restarted. Rerouting controls. All systems functional. Back on course for heading 327.
Only one chance.